that gamer fool. Watch this video, and if you like it, then maybe consider subscribing. So I already did a video about episode 1 and the base mechanics. You can watch that video here in the card on one of the corners of the screen. Episode 2 picks up right where episode 1 left off. Paradise has been taken over by Sin, the rampant AI, looking like the Eye of Sauron, burning down the city, looking like hell on earth, or doom. Johnny has got a few problems other than trying to only take down Sin. TerraTech, the company that hired you, has sent mercenaries to track you down and kill you for not responding to the executives from TerraTech. More on these guys later.
It's gone silent. TerraTech reckoned that to mean one thing. The boy's been compromised.
The first new weapon you get is the plasma gun. It shoots plasma projectiles, as well as having a split function, is all the weapons do in this game. The microwave beam. You can target up to 3 enemies at once and drain their health simultaneously. I upgraded before even using it, and the upgrade is to target 5 enemies. The final upgrade for this weapon is the projectile targeting, and this gives you the ability to grab projectiles mid-air and throw them back at whatever enemy you choose. Now this is probably the best part about this weapon. Only wish I figured out how to use it earlier. I didn't figure out how to use this upgrade until I was on the last boss of the episode, but I went back to a previous level to capture footage. So I guess to switch out of the microwave beam mode and go to the projectile targeting mode, the keybind is middle mouse button. Now, to be fair, it does say it on screen, but my dumb blind ass didn't see it. So it is my fault, but it did not say this in the tutorial, so take that how you will. Nonetheless, this is an awesome addition to your arsenal. This sniper rifle functions as an average sniper. This is the Telefragger rifle. It's powerful. When upgraded, you can charge it for more damage. This upgrade really came in handy during the last phase of a boss fight later on. Its secondary fire is pretty unique. If you scope in on an enemy, hold the fire button until the meter fills up and then release, you will teleport inside them. Easy way to reach long distances. The Hammer of Dawn, the Ion Blaster, fires a deadly beam from the sky. The beam goes where the marker is. When upgraded, you can use the secondary function. You paint a massive marker and have a few seconds to get out of the blast radius, because a massive beam will fire down from the sky and pretty much destroy whatever is in the circle. The launcher also gets an upgrade. The multi-loader allows it to preload up to 4 rockets. Comes real handy for a massive amount of damage. The Waster shotgun gets an improvement across the board, as in faster reload, spread reduced with the addition of a sight, which you can't use, as you don't aim down sights in this game. The sight is more cosmetic, and a slight buff to the damage output. The final upgrade for the Twincendiary is Insta-Spool, which means there's no delay between pressing the fire button, waiting for the barrels to spin up, and then firing. So this is a nice addition to this weapon. The max and final upgrade for the Magnums is the Giver. If you use your primary fire, which is not locking onto enemies, charges them up for an Insta-Giver, which is a one-shot kill to any foe. From what I understand, you can use it unlimited until you miss a shot or run out of ammo.
All your friends have opens. Have you? Don't be shy. I don't bite.
You will also receive a grapple hook, as it seems every game is doing lately, but I'm not complaining. There will be select grapple points around the levels to grapple onto. You can also grapple onto enemies, and there is even an upgrade that sets enemies ablaze when you grapple onto them. I almost forgot to even include this one, as I would often forget to utilize this ability during the heat of battle, Turbo Time. With the click of a button, you use Turbo Time, which basically is bullet time. This came very vital in saving my life in certain encounters, or during boss fights. Although, I often forgot I could even do this during many shootouts. Every time this mechanic shows up in a game, I love it. It's always so fun to use. This episode introduced a few new enemies. First off, the shield shotgunners can tank a lot more damage than the rest of the trash mob. They have one weakness, giving a special use to your waster shotgun's secondary fire. Once you unload a single shot into a mob of these guys, one will pop, causing devastating damage to nearby enemies. These guys are the typical annoying enemy that swarm you in a group, and are a nuisance. Not sure what the official name is for these guys though. I also don't know the name of this guy neither, but when you see him, he is your priority. He puts a shield around a certain number of enemies nearby. I'm gonna call this guy Mace, as that's what pops up on screen when he shoots his mace at you. These guys are not a problem if it's just one alone, but throw a couple in a mob and they can be a pain. He will lunge and pound the ground when he lands, causing a mini explosion around him that will do massive damage. As I said a second ago, he will shoot his mace from across the arena that can get you by surprise if you're not paying attention, and this has gotten me more than a few times. Lastly, we land at Teddy. As the game states, Teddy is a big brute with a massive hammer for one arm. He will slam the ground, and if you're not in the air, most likely you will get hit. He will also do a spin attack. The levels are a bit more complex than episode 1. You will go one way, grab a key, and before you know it, and back up at a part you passed to where a door or pathway was locked previously. The combat arenas will have a bit more obstacles, or environmental hazards, whether it be acid or a cliff, and even lasers. There will also be grapple points around the arenas you may not even see.
Oh, there's a grapple hooks?
So I think the most disliked level is no doubt the motorcycle level, Exodus. The controls are a bit clunky, you accelerate a bit too fast I think, and the camera is a bit too forward for me. It's hard to get the health pickups and just all around hard to control in general. Eventually, with some practice you will get used to it. I went back to this level and was used to the bike by then, and passed it fairly easily.
This shit is really hard to control.
On the same level you get the bike, you also get a power up for a combat arena. This is the power fist that lets you give any enemy here, and it's pretty nice. It's a time limit power up though, so it will run out eventually. I never found this power up again during my time with the game. So now, I'm going to talk about the boss fights. So if you care about minor spoilers for those, then you can skip to the time posted on screen.
Here's Johnny!
I have a love-hate relationship with the boss fights in episode 2. On one hand, they're a joy to fight and a good challenge to make you utilize everything you've learned and gained up to that point. On the other, they devolve into a massive spongy health bar, or multiple phases, and each phase, a whole new health bar, with enemy spawns in between for one. For me, these fights can last a bit too long, to where my fingers start getting tired and I have to take a break in between a phase. If you die, it's a restart for the entire boss fight and a skippable cutscene. Now they are good for keeping you on your toes and forcing you to be aggressive, as if you're running low on health, you better cause some damage to get that health back, as they will drop health when you damage them. I do like this. The chainsaw real quickly became my best friend during these encounters. I do like the multiple phase approach as well. It brings a lot of variety to the fights. I guess my only real issue is when dying, having to restart the whole fight over. But that's true for many games, so I had no choice but to get better and try again. In the end, I enjoyed this episode, maybe more than the first, and I really enjoyed the first.
What the fuck is going on?
The one complaint I had with the bosses is I guess in most games, so it may just have been my frustration while writing that, but I did enjoy them, and this may be my personal game of the year. Either this or ADACA, I'm thinking. Well, thanks for taking the time to watch my video. If you enjoyed it, then maybe check out my others. I will continue to improve as I get more comfortable and gain experience as I go. See you next time.